Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. This time we are starting the week off with DC Comics. Why? Because there aren't that many DC Comics, and there is a humongous book that we will be reviewing in the Marvel section.
Yep.
Actually, there were a couple of big books this week. The books that we will be reviewing today were released on the week of April 30th, 2014. And guys, by this time, Free Comic Book Day has come and gone. And I will say one thing. I'm saving my anger for mostly the live show and the weekly comic book haul. I was going to make a personal video, but I'm not because I'm going to add it to the podcast too. But guys, next year is going to be completely different. I am very, very upset with the way my order with Midtown went with Free Comic Book Day. Very, very disappointed in the chance to make an extra buck. The route that Midtown went was disgusting, I feel, with the Free Comic Book Day books.
Plus, there was one comic that I wanted, but it was sold out.
Right.
Kind of, as well, so that kind of gets me...
So, I'm going to be talking about all this on this week's podcast. If you guys are interested, tune in. It will be up this Thursday. I can't promise you whether it'll be morning or night, but I will be recording it soon, right after these, and the live show on Tuesday. So look forward to that, and I will be talking about it a bit on the live show, but I will not be going into as deep of a discussion or my feelings on it as I will on It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Podcast. So look forward to that in the podcast this week, and then I'll talk about it again in the haul. I just had to get that out there now. I'm probably not going to mention it during the Marvel review, but I had to say it here and now. So, again, let's go into the books that were not free. Which I do hope you guys had a wonderful Free Comic Book Day.
Yep.
Batman Beyond Universe issue number 9, Justice Lords part 1 of 4, and guess what? All the stories are connected this time.
Oh, about time.
So it's one big story. So it starts off with an alternate with Neo Gotham, or basically the Justice Lords Gotham. And in the Beyond times of the Justice Lords, Terry McGinnis is one of the Joker gangs. So he's a bad guy. At least in this time. And then at the end of this story arc, because I'm not really going to get into it, it was very short, he comes face to face with Terry McGinnis from the regular DCU. How did he get there? We go back in time again and we go to the Justice League Unlimited part, or the Superman Beyond part. And Superman basically gives Terry the entire rundown of the Justice Lords, and what happened during Justice League, and how eventually the power drainer wore off, so the Justice League went to the Justice Lord's world again, and Wonder Woman stayed behind because she fell in love with Justice Lord Batman. And I'm not going to give her story away, but basically in this story, it's all about Superman catching up with, or catching Terry up to speed with what's going on. We then go into the Batman Beyond story, where Terry actually goes to the Justice Lord's world to find Batman, or Batman, Lord Batman, whatever they call him. And everything's crazy. I'm not giving away what happened to him, but then it continues the story from the very beginning, where evil Terry, or Justice Lord Terry, Justice Lord Universe Terry meets regular Terry, and Terry finds out that basically Lord Batman is dead. Then we jump again to the Justice League part, or this. No, actually, I'm sorry. This is the Superman part. The other part was just. It's so confusing because the Superman parts of the Justice League parts. So we're just gonna call it the Justice League Superman parts, and we find out what happened to Wonder Woman in the Justice Lord's world since her since the Justice League left back to the regular DCU, and then the ending, of course, has Lord Superman and things aren't looking so good. And
wait, is this a debut of Lord Superman?
No,
because I never saw.
But I will give one spoiler away. Apparently, Wonder Woman is married to Superman Beyond. So, and Superman in the regular DCU was worried that Wonder Woman was changed because she was exposed to that world for so long that maybe she was actually changed by that world instead of changing the world. Do not let the cover fool you. I was worried that this was going to be a New 52 Superman story. It was not. Adventures of Superman issue number 12 basically Superman adapts. Basically, he's annoyed that he can't do justice the way like Batman does, where all the villains basically know he's not going to rough them up, he's not going to do anything. So Superman creates this character called, I want to see if I can get a full picture of him, called the Demolisher. Come on, there has to be some picture somewhere of a full picture of him. And I can't get a full picture apparently. And what the Demolisher is basically the opposite of Superman. He has his own shield. The whole story started with Toyman. He breaks Toyman's fingers. Basically, he does what Superman can't do. He gets physical with the villains. And Clark's kind of surprised that everybody in Metropolis is kind of more keen to the Demolisher instead of Superman. And every time he's like, okay, that's it. This is the last time. The Demolisher's done. And then he becomes Demolisher again. And then he's like, that's it. I'm done. Demolisher, I know I was wrong, so I'm stopping. And then he goes off and he becomes Demolisher again. So basically he's having a hard time letting Demolisher go. And subconsciously too, he becomes Demolisher. And there's a part with him and Lois. And then basically he wants to shroud the world, Metropolis in darkness. And you know, he says it about 2 or 3 times that he's done with the Demolisher. It must end. It's over. And then he kind of snaps a little bit, but then he breaks himself. He snaps himself back. The way he snapped himself back. And he gets rid of Demolisher once and for all. He creates a perfect end, so to speak, for Demolisher. And then he just demolishes Demolisher, ironically. And Superman's just back. I thought this was a really good story. It showed the dynamics of Superman, how he wants to be one way, but he can't. And how it actually ruled over him for a bit, and then he overcame it and became Superman again. I found this a really, really good story, and I like it because it's outside of the New 52. It's Superman the way we all know and love it. I think this is why I tolerate what's going on in the DC Universe and the New 52 Superman, because I know every month I'm getting another Superman story that isn't the guy on the cover. It's the guy on the inside of the cover. With the red short, the red underwear that I love.
But then wait, why they put the New 52?
I guess it's just for cover. It's just cover sales.
Alright.
So, and it even says here the Demolisher, so.
Okay.
Next 2 books are yours, but again guys, I cannot recommend Adventures of Superman enough. Those are the digital first books. I always do digital first, so the reason I really didn't go through them too much is because we're already in the next issue. So these are old news. Now we're on you.
Scribblenauts Unmasked, A Crisis of Imagination, issue number 4. Lots of stuff actually happened in this book, and for kids to read this, I don't know if it might be confusing to them because of what so many things going on, but for me reading this, I could understand. Basically, Batman is like in a dream, like he's like dreaming because of what happened in the last issue, while Maxwell's fighting Sinestro and Atrocitus. And Wonder Woman's finding out more about these demons that are happening with Steve Trevor as Cyborg is battling them. And I'll give you some artwork. So basically Lily is trying to save Batman from the dream because Batman thinks that everything that's happening is real. And there's like this guy, I forgot what his name was, the one that controls the dreams.
Oh my god, why did his name leave me?
I know, like basically, Maxwell, who's trying to fight Sinestro, like he's saying to him that he has to be fear and everything. But I can't remember what this guy's name is. Like basically, he controls the dreams and everything, and you know that Batman's marrying Talia al Ghul and everything.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Well, Talia al Ghul, and then as Lily tries to snap him out of it. He does snap out of it eventually. And then the Green Lantern ring, the ring chose Maxwell. And I like this scene right here where the Green Lanterns say their catchphrase, you know, on brightest day and blackest night. And,
it fits the, oh, he took it off. I was going to say the figure. No, he took off the ring. I was going to say we have the figure of him as a Green Lantern.
Yeah, we did actually. So, basically, that's an all-out war that happened there.
Psycho Pirate.
Psycho Pirate.
It hit me as I saw that face.
Psycho Pirate was the one that does the whole nightmares and everything. So, After all that, Batman wanted to settle things, and he sends Lily back to where Wonder Woman and Cyborg are. But see, here's the thing, though, about after all this has happened, Batman tells Lily after Maxwell goes with Flash on a mission to receive something. You could definitely read the book. Seems that Batman and Lily are going to into the Phantom Zone to find out more about the demons. And that's to be continued. So Batman going into Phantom Zone was kind of a twist, because normally I thought maybe Superman would be one going into the Phantom Zone, but see Batman and Lily going, that got me hooked. But there's other stuff that happened too, but I didn't want to explain the whole book because it's just it was a big book this week for that. And ironically, same as the back cover of the Green Mist and everything, He-Man the Master of the Universe, issue number 12. Everything changes. This is the last part of What Lies Within. And oh boy, things are looking a lot of changes for He-Man. Here's a big splash page of King Hiss and He-Man. So basically they want to throw He-Man into the sun, but He-Man just wants his sword so that way he can fight. Meanwhile, Teela, Mossman, and what was his name?
guy.
Yeah, like they're trying to fight off the other of King Hiss's army, and I'm trying to remember what his name was. Stratos is his name. So as they were going to throw He-Man in the universe, spoiler, Teela makes the sacrifice for He-Man and goes into the universe. And here's another twist that actually gets very twisted. Teela meets her mother, who was the sorceress, and guess what? Now Teela is the sorceress. The new sorceress, I should say.
That?
That's Teela. So she, along with He-Man, fights the King Hiss, and He-Man gets another armor, but he doesn't want to wear the crown until the world is free from the hordes and everything. But Zodiac, he said, was actually right. You know, his father is dead, and Teela's gone now because she's now this and that. I mean, there's just this scene right here where he said to Stratos, like, you know, how everything has changed and everything. And I could actually feel what he's feeling. And there's a spoiler at the end where we're going to get an origin story of who? Read the book. Because that I'm actually looking forward to reading about. I mean, saying it's about time to add the character into the book. Because I was like saying, you know, sooner or later. But What Lies Within, absolutely recommended you get all 6 parts, I believe. And, yeah, that's about it.
I got 2 annuals this week. Batgirl annual number 2. It would be unfair to say I didn't like it, because I did, but it would be unfair to say it was one of my favorite annuals, because it kind of wasn't. I bought this under the pretense that this was going to lead into the next story arc. That's what I believed. Because I wanted to hold off on any annuals until the next story, to see if I was going to stick on board with Batgirl. The cover says it all. It's about Batgirl's relationship with Poison Ivy. How they're not friends, they're not teammates, they're not anything. You know, they work together on this mission. I don't want to say what the mission's about, but it starts off where they're teaming up, and then she kind of doesn't like the way Batgirl doesn't like the way Poison Ivy takes things, or the way Poison Ivy is. So she kind of tells her off, and there's this huge... I want to get to the fight to show you guys the fight.
Did I say He-Man was Book of the Week?
Yeah.
Yeah, He-Man's Book of the Week, in case I didn't say it.
But there is a bit of a fight. And, you know, at first you think that Poison Ivy actually leaves. And then the winter comes. It's all the months of the year. And there's this bat symbol, the Batgirl symbol, and they show it through all the seasons.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
So Batgirl goes to find Poison Ivy because she wants to arrest her. And then she also goes to arrest, oh god, what's his name? Ezekiel Rain, who basically, the thing is, he was harvesting these body parts or something, and basically taking them out of the poor and
What happened to Poison Ivy?
The Winter, she was dying. I like how she became Poison Ice at one point because she was iced out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Also, I don't believe this advertisement that Son of Batman's coming out May 6th, because I got my copy from Amazon.com on Sunday, so it's out already, guys. Don't wait. Just throwing that out there. And in the end, Poison Ivy actually makes a just decision, and you see Batgirl kind of close, like they kind of get a little closer, and all throughout this time her roommate Alyssa had this garden. She built it up, and Batgirl, who was thinking like a cop, like her father said, you better get security cameras, make sure nobody screws this garden up. It gets screwed up, and then basically for her friend she asked Poison Ivy to kind of help fix the garden up, and that's kind of how it ends. It was a nice issue. Would I say it's worth the $5? I say it's up to you. If you're a fan of Gail Simone, which I am, or if you're a fan of Batgirl, definitely. If you're iffy on the series, maybe this is a skip. It doesn't connect really to any story or future story that's going to be going on in Batgirl. I will be getting the next Batgirl issue, though. However, this issue is interesting. The Flash issue number 3. I will say this off the bat, this is not the Wally West I grew up with. They did introduce Wally. He's a young teen. I'm talking teen as in young. Like Dick Grayson's older than Wally West, so already we see that we are out of the old DCU. Here's Wally West. And it's Barry's first day back in the labs. However, in the future Barry, basically something's going on with the Speed Force, and it's happening in the present now. It's starting. And Barry blames himself for what happened to Iris and Wally. Apparently he didn't make it in time. That's what I'm guessing. He reveals who he is to Iris, and he tells Iris, I'm going to go back in time, I'm going to fix this. She's like, don't do this. You know what happened with Daniel when he tried it. Daniel, a.k.a. Reverse Flash. He doesn't care. He runs off. Barry's still in the present. There is mention, and I thought this was really interesting, of Edbar Twain in the future by Grodd. He says he traveled into the future and found Edbar Twain's, he found him, and then he took his brain and he was eating it to gain his intelligence, which was disgusting.
Very.
And then in the future you get the fight between Grodd and Future Flash, which ends very, very gruesome. I will say that. But apparently Barry's powers are kind of fluxing because he runs off because I forgot what her name was, but she wanted this coconut or something, and he runs off and gets it, comes back, and it's like 15 or 20 minutes later, and he's like, how is that possible? I was only gone a few seconds. So apparently time is screwing up and through the Flashpoint, and we don't know why yet. I guess this is something we'll find out when the future meets the present, so to speak. So you got these guys that are fighting the Flash in the present, and then we jump into the future for the rest of the issue, where it's Future Flash versus Grodd. Like I said, it kind of ends bad for Grodd. Really bad. And then you have Future Flash saying, I have to run back in time, and basically I have to kill myself. And in the past you have Barry actually saying, I'd never kill, but then the future Barry basically killed Grodd and is now going back in time to kill himself.
Wow.
But slowly, apparently, because in the next issue, Future Flash is going after Mirror Master, and present-day Flash is going to be on the case that he's on right now, or on a new case.
So they're going to clash with each other, Flash and...
Yeah, it's very interesting. However, it was very misleading. Everybody was told that this was going to be the reintroduction of Wally West. Everybody thought when they said it's going to be the reintroduction of Wally West that this was Wally West. No, this is not Wally West. Actually, Wally West dies. So it's going to be up to Barry to go back in time and prevent that from happening, the future Barry. And the present-day Barry is dealing with this teen Wally. But we do see Iris and Barry together, so there is the possibility of them getting together. However, this is in a future that's obviously going to be undone. So it's still up in the air about Barry and Iris. However, though, this is a really good issue. My favorite annual this week, and I only got 2, so out of the 2, it was my favorite. Last 2 books are Batman books. I don't even know why I'm reviewing this before the final issue of Forever Evil, but Forever Evil Aftermath, Batman vs. Bane.
How was that book?
The title says it all. Bane is running Gotham. Batman comes back. Batman freezes all the Talons again, frees Scarecrow, and sends him back to the police. And then the rest of the book is, as you guessed it,
Does
people.
he break him?
No.
I can't get over that joke. I will break you, Batman.
But the rest of the book is all Batman versus Bane. And honestly, I have to agree with Batman where he goes, because the battle between Batman and Bane was ridiculous. It happened in literally, let's see, Batman's here, the fight began here. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I like
5.
that way he says I am hell.
6, 7, 8, 9 pages, and Batman won. This is the guy that broke Batman's back, and Batman, within a couple of swings of a statue, a gigantic statue, a couple of punches, a couple of batarangs, takes out Bane.
But you gotta admit, the fight was pretty cool.
The fight was done very well, very action-packed, but I just feel that Batman really, after all the shit Bane went through during the War for Gotham or whatever, Gotham Wars, he just comes in and poo, and it's over.
Well,
Bane falls over himself.
Well, Batman's been through a lot with this whole.
I was expecting a little bit more of a fight.
Well,
a little bit.
They were giving you some of.
It's a one-shot. So anyway, it's $3.99. If you followed the Gotham Wars or the War of Gotham, whatever the heck it was, I already forgot what it was called because it was just completely. Do they say it maybe in the first page? Maybe
I think it's Gotham Wars.
It was just useless, to be honest.
Or
the whole series was its own little series. But yeah, basically Batman just swoops in and fixes everything by the end of the issue. And Gotham is being rebuilt now, just like in this issue where it's post Forever Evil and Barry and the rest of Central City is fixing itself up. Here, Gotham City prepares to clean itself up. And Batman basically took Bane out. All the Gothamites and Blackgate people are back where they belong, or still free somewhere out there. And Batman now is back in Gotham, his city, and everything is back to status quo, no problem.
Okay.
Until we get into Batman Eternal issue number 4. Commissioner Gordon goes, or Gordon, he's not a commissioner anymore, goes on trial. He has no bail. He's staying, basically he attempts for bail, or he tries for bail. It doesn't work. Barbara kind of has an emotional breakdown in the court. Kind of punches Batman around a little bit, saying that it's not real. My father didn't do this, and you know it. And Batman's like, we'll figure it out, but this is not the way. And she's like, leave me alone. Stephanie Brown, it turns out her mom's a supervillain too, who didn't see that coming. And she kind of walks off into the night. And I hate this guy. Forbes. Commissioner Forbes, the guy that took over, the dirty, undermined piece of shit. I hate him so much. I can't wait for Batman to beat the shit out of him at some point. But, what's his name? Lieutenant Bard wants to start, working on the gang wars. What's going on, between Penguin and all the other gang going on. And Forbes is like, no, we're focusing only on the freaks like Batman. Speaking of Batman, here's Batman. And he has his first confrontation with Carmine Falcone. He's like, what are you doing in my city? Why are you here? What's your plan? And he's like, I'm here for unfinished business and to make it right, make things right. And he's like, he tells Batman basically, either join me or get out of my way, or I'll put you out of my way. And Batman's like, I'm watching you. And he leaves. And it turns out Barbara actually has a hit on a person that was standing in the train station all the way up until the train collision. And she goes after him. And Commissioner Gordon is now in Blackgate Prison. And yeah, things are, as this last page says, pretty dark for Gordon. Because Blackgate, it's like basically death row. He walks out there, he's dead. And that's the long and short of it. You need to read the dialogue for yourself, guys, because this is an amazing weekly series so far. I don't know why you're not reading it, but I know you're going to start Future's End.
Who said I wasn't? You wanted to read it.
You can read it too,
Oh, you want?
Well, you're going to be reading Future's End anyway. Issue 0 came out with Free Comic Book Day, and Issue 1 comes out next week, so you got 2 issues in one.
Yeah, so that's another reason.
Definitely one of my favorite books right now. It's holding its own. It's strong. It's done amazing work. The people that are working on Batman Eternal, it's awesome right now. If you're not reading this, you're already a month late, but guys, I would go back and get all 4 issues. It was spectacular. And with that, that's it for DC Comic, guys. Not that many books this week. However, this is the 5th week of the month, so it's really just the extra books, the annuals, and stuff like that. So, until next time, don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Don't forget to check back on here. The podcast is coming up, morning stream on the weekend, and all the recaps are now up. So, if you're interested in any, or if not all the recaps, go check those out. Indie Review went up last night. This is going up, like I said, a day late, but that's because of all the recaps and everything else, busy schedules. So,
oh boy, yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment below, likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, and I will be answering your comments this Friday on the weekly comic book haul. So, get all your questions or statements answered there. So until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys, literally, in the next review. See you guys there.
Later, guys.